What's up, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Pit Therapy Podcast with me, Trevor, and Kyle. 2 in a row, bro. We
What
might
do you
be
mean?
doing this a day late, but at least we have 2 episodes in a row.
Um, yeah. Yeah. Sorry about this one being late. Oh, well, it's just
It's fine.
last week was Thanksgiving. So,
It's all good. What'd you guys
I
do?
had food on the brain. Uh, we just hung out at my place. I cooked a turkey and a ham and a bunch of other stuff. So, I don't know, man. Like relocating to another state, you kind of find people that are in similar situations. So, we had a few other people that like had moved down here and don't have family and stuff. So, they came over to our place and we had just a bunch of random people over. It was good though. It was fun.
I mean, was it really? None of them listened to this. Just be
Yeah.
honest.
No, it was fun. It was fine. The problem is I'm going to get an allergy test done tomorrow. You know where they like poison you with needles and then see what you're
Okay,
allergic to?
sure.
But I had to stop taking my allergy medicine like last week. And so I haven't slept, it feels like, in a whole week because my allergies are so bad. So Thanksgiving from like a food and like a people standpoint was fun. I just have been so tired and like out of it because of that. So
Did you cook the turkey this year?
I did cook the turkey.
Was
I
it
tried a
dry?
new recipe. No, my son came up and gave me a hug and said, "Dad, the turkey was not dry this year. It was good." Which I don't know what he's
Oh man.
smoking because like I feel like it was more dry this year than last year.
He
But
doesn't actually know what dries mean. He just
I don't think he
wanted
does.
to.
Maybe either
I don't-
was dude. Kids are
Wha-
brutal, man. Because like
what's the phrase in Princess Bride? I don't think that word means what you think it
what you think
means.
it means. Yeah. Dude, kids are
that's
brutal
what
about
that's what
that
it
stuff
sounds like.
because so Sunday I cooked like I found this recipe online for like a crock pot jambalaya.
Yeah.
And I thought it was really good, dude. Like it turned out pretty good, but it was too spicy for my like non-spicy eating family. And so like my son came up and was like gave me a hug and said, "Thanks for cooking. It was really good. It was just too spicy." He's like, "I just don't want you to feel bad, but it was really good." And I'm like, "You're not gonna make me feel bad." Like it was a random recipe that I got from the internet. So then my wife was like, "Yeah, like it's fine. Like, sometimes we cook things and it doesn't taste very good. I've cooked stuff that hasn't been very good." And my daughter's like, "Yeah, like thousands of times." Dude, that
your
cuts
wife
deep,
your
man.
wife gets a little spicy in her personality with that. Did she backhand your daughter?
No, but dude,
She should have.
okay, this is like starting out weird. My wife's gonna kill me when she listens to this, but
She doesn't
there's
listen. You're
there's
fine.
not been there has not been anything more. Well, I don't know what the word is like affirming to me in my marriage than seeing my daughter that is exactly like my wife and how much it frustrates my wife. you, you know what I mean?
That is funny.
Like
Yeah.
my wife's great, man. I love my wife. My daughter's a lot like her personality wise, and so they'll get in like little arguments and say things to each other. My wife gets so frustrated with her, and I just laugh because I'm like, "You do that crap with me. It's the same thing, you know. It's great. You probably understand it. You got 4 girls, you know.
Oh, I do. I
Girls
totally
are spicy,
understand it.
man.
You should
So
I'm a minute late to recording because of the conversation I'm having with my oldest, and I can
yeah,
tell you about it all offline. But we're finally to the
yeah.
point where it's like you got to decide what you like to do and stuff like that. And her passion for the last 7 years, by the way, she's 10 years old. Her passion for the last 7 years has all been dance.
Mm-hmm.
Quickly finding out her passion is not dance. So, and it's
Yeah,
a hard reality that she's coming to, that her passion is not dance. So, you know,
yeah. That's a long time to be doing that though, and then to give it up. So, how was your
it
Thanksgiving
is.
though?
It was good, man. We've just got so much family in town and stuff like that we did my family in the morning, my wife's family in the afternoon.
Like you
All
ate
good.
for both of them?
I mean, at this point, at my age, with the amount of heartburn and acid reflux I have, like I eat like one time a day. So no, I ate at one, and then I ate a slice of pie at the other.
No,
That was it.
that is true. You only eat like once a day, and it pisses me off whenever we're out doing things because I'm always super hungry. You're just like, I'm not hungry at all.
It's just like, dude, honestly, I feel too sick, man. And it's crazy because if we go out to like a nice fancy place or good food or whatever, I will gorge myself. Give me one sitting, I could eat 10 pounds of food. Not
Yeah.
a problem. You try to spread that 10 pounds out throughout the day, not happening. So it's kind of
That's
weird.
weird. That is weird. Do you exercise much anymore? I know you like ran and stuff a lot, but you've been going back to the gym, right? Does that not make you more hungry?
Not yet. Not yet. I also have about 30 pounds that like my body could just eat and I could
Yeah.
be fine. So like I think that has something to do with it too.
Mm.
I've not been more hungry. Actually, like this I'm weird this way, and I don't know if this is normal. I do not like going to the gym after eating. Like I prefer to go to the
Yeah.
gym on an empty stomach. Like some
Yeah.
people like protein shakes, protein bars,
Mm.
anything. I'm nothing. It's water before the gym. That's it.
Yeah. See, I'm not doing like a full meal or something before I go work out, but like a drink or a protein bar is fine. I can stomach that. But I get what you're saying, dude. Like it makes me sick if I work out after I've eaten.
Yeah, dude. I just can't, man. Like
But it makes me so hungry after.
really?
If I work out at night, like that's usually the only time I can get out and work out is 8 or 9 o'clock at night.
Okay.
And when I'm done, dude, I'm like sitting down on my couch, just like pounding food. And it's usually not good food because it's like 9 or 10 o'clock at night, you know?
Sure.
So I got a problem.
Yeah,
I
I
got a
don't
problem.
know, man. Like I guess we'll see. Give me like a couple weeks to actually get back into this and get my
Mm.
body readjusted to actually utilizing some of the food in my stomach and we'll see how I actually feel.
Yeah.
But right now, no. I'm good.
Mm. Okay.
So,
Cool. Well, that's good,
yeah.
man. Glad you had a good Thanksgiving. I felt like it was a week too short. I need another week off.
Yeah, it was 4 days and you need a week. Dude, I
I
feel you
know.
on that one.
Yeah.
So,
Today was hard. It was hard coming back to work.
yeah. No, for sure, for sure. Well, any new music, anything like that?
I'm trying to think, man. I don't think so.
I'm clicking through right now. There's a new Lower Def song that just dropped on the 28th, but
That's right.
for some reason, my speakers are only playing through my computer. I can't figure out how to get them to play through my headset right now, and so I don't wanna blast it on here.
I assume it's gonna sound like the rest of the ones that the singles they've released, which is not a bad thing. It's a good thing, you
Sure,
know.
sure. There was also a Lionheart song that I think dropped.
Do you like Lionheart? I don't really like Lionheart.
It's been hit or miss for me. I feel like I listened to Welcome to the West Coast, that 2022 album, a little bit. Um, but I mean, not a ton. I don't listen to a ton of Lionheart. But if you do
Feel
like
like their
Lionheart,
lyrics are like especially cheesy.
well, teach their own. Uh, but we are coming up on the end of the year. So I was going back through today and looking at EPs, singles, and stuff that have dropped. There's been so much good music that's come out this year. And at some point, we're going to have to do an episode on it. I could do an episode just on Salt Lake 2025. We could do an
Yeah.
episode just on Texas 2025.
Well, I
Like,
mean, when we were talking about that, like, and I'm not just being like a Texas homer, but I think my favorite release this year was a Texas band.
right. That's the hard part. The music is so good. I'm right there with you. But that being said, dude, Domain dropped his dope EP. Heavy as the Head dropped awesome stuff.
Was it
Like there's
Combust? Combust album was this year too, wasn't it?
Combust was
Yeah, dude.
incredible. Like
Yeah,
there is just so freaking much out there. It's going to be hard to whittle down.
I know. I
So,
know. I mean, there is one EP that I feel like is my favorite. Outside of that, though, I don't think I could rank anything else this year because it's all just really good. And like pretty unique sounds too. Like a lot of different sounding music that like Stolen Gun, and then you compare that to like Combust, and it's like
Well,
it's all good,
you compare it to Skinhead, you put
Yeah,
Haywire
right.
in there. Like, I feel like the variety that I went through in 25 was huge. There was
Yeah,
pop punk that came out. There was the stuff like Haywire and Skinhead. There was the heavy stuff with Stolen Gun, the new Acacia Strain album. Like, the list goes on, and there's everything in between. 2025 was an incredible year for music.
yeah, yeah. So I assume that we'll do an episode where we kind of reminisce on some of the albums that we listened to this year. So
Yeah,
stay
now we
tuned for
will for
that.
sure. So,
So
but leading into that, uh, we'll just kick it off, right?
yeah,
Both of these bands have put out new music in 2025. We're back doing locals. And we had talked about doing the band Innervision prior to Furnace Fest, Flyover Fest, which was, let's be honest, like, I actually think I liked Flyover maybe a little bit more than Furnace. Furnace was a cool setting. It had a lot of nostalgia hits and stuff like that. But Flyover, in terms of like the music that we're actively listening to and stuff like that, and it wasn't just nostalgia hit after nostalgia hit, for modern music that's currently coming out with young bands, I think that Flyover nailed it. And it was
yeah,
incredible. And Inner Visions was actually one of the bands that stood out.
yeah. Do you want me to start?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, we this was like Trevor was saying, one of the bands that we were going to talk about before Flyover, and then a bunch of crap happened. We just didn't do it, but um, I genuinely enjoy this band, and I genuinely enjoyed seeing them for Flyover. They played day one, which to me made it stand out even more because day one, like we've said, was like all the slam bands, and they are not a slam band. They're from Springfield, Illinois, and they're like more traditional hardcore, you know, punk influenced, fast youth crew type sounding hardcore band.
Wait, hold up.
Um,
Were they day one? They were day two.
I thought so. No, I thought they were day one. I thought they were like, let's look.
No, they were
Yeah,
day
they were day
two.
one. No, they were day one.
Oh, no, you're right. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They were right after Dredge. Right
Uh,
after, like, we had just been through some slam, and then Innervision comes out. Yeah.
yeah. But I wanted to talk about them before Flyover because I think, especially, it feels like in the Midwest, there's a lot of this sound kind of reviving itself. Obviously, like we talk about how hardcore has cycles. The slam, heavy breakdown, tough guy stuff is, I think, starting to run its course a little bit. And you're seeing a lot more of these faster, more traditional hardcore sounding bands pop up. So they've got an EP from 2023, and then they released another one this year, 2025. They played Flyover. I believe they're playing LDB in 2026, which is insane. Like Flyover's cool, but like the line, did you see the lineup for LDB?
Yeah.
It's
LDB is
crazy,
awesome.
right? Like it's sick that Innervision can play on that. I, from what I understand, like they've been a band for since 2023, younger group of kids, but they're just straight killing it, man. Like if you go on their social media, like they're playing a ton of shows, they're doing a ton of stuff right. Seeing them play Flyover was really cool because, like, maybe it's just because they're in their youth. They brought the energy, man. It was a fun set. Like people got into it. There was a pretty decent like turnout of like Illinois, Missouri, Midwest type bands, and people from the crowd, and I thought they gave Innervision some love, and I thought that was cool on day one. So first album 2023, Always in Sight. What did you think of this one?
It was good. Always in sight. Like, there was definitely some standouts. I honestly just like right off the bat, just the grab the chain, that fast punk beat right up front. Like, It was really cool. It was a really fun album. Uh, the songs are all short. They're
Yeah.
really taking that punk influence, and I really like that. Again, you talked about all the bands that are kind of bringing this back. There's a lot of Texas bands bringing this back too. Def Con is one of those bands that, again, faster, pick up the beat, all that kind of stuff. It was cool, man. It's a good 6 minutes for 5 songs. Always appreciate that. You know what I mean? You can
Yeah.
listen to it literally going to fill up your cup at work. It's
Yeah.
all good.
Yeah. So I like this album. It definitely leans more on like the punk side of it.
Yeah.
Although in like Grab My Chain, it's got a pretty cool breakdown where it feels very hardcore, like typical hardcore breakdown, where they kind of slow the riff
Yeah.
and stuff, and get some good chugs in there. And like you said, it's a 6 minute album. It's just fun. I don't know how old these guys are. I think they're pretty young. I think there's a good chance that this EP in 2023 is probably them in high school, coming out of high school. I don't know.
Or ride out. Yeah. So they're young.
That's sick, right? That's tight to have this type of sound at that age. So, like, respect to that. Um, and then this year in April, they dropped Alive and Well. And man, I like this EP so much.
Yeah.
Like, just the intro riff and retrace is so cool. Like, I was instantly hooked by it.
Yeah.
The vocals sounded a lot better. It didn't sound as like tin canny, I think they got a little better production, but this feels very much like a good hardcore album.
Yeah. And again, 6 minutes, man. Can't complain. Now they did cut one of the songs out, so it's only in 4 songs. So they did lengthen that a little bit. Uh it again, it turns out so good. I don't know really what to say. Like, it's fast, it's aggressive. The song um Ties,
Mm-hmm.
it has that really punky thing, and then it goes into the two-step when he's like singing. Listen, I don't love that everyone moshes the same, but listen, you know how people are moshing when you hear that riff come in. They're bent over, they're picking up the change, they're all stomping. It's kind of like cookie cutter, but this is the sound that you think of that like style of moshing.
Yeah.
And it's
And it's
cool.
fun though, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
look, we talk a lot about how bands like doing things the right way. Like, sometimes stuff like that can get a little gimmicky. I see clips online of bands that it's like, it feels like they're doing it just for the TikTok clip. You know, I don't get that feeling from these guys. Like, it feels genuine. It was cool seeing them. They felt genuine seeing them. Um, One thing I'll say is like the guest vocals on Ties.
Yeah.
I I am I love it, dude, when like these fast, more punky hardcore bands have the like heavier, lower tone guest vocals on songs because it's such a good contrast, you
Yeah.
know? Like, it's super all this whole album, well, they're both their EPs are like super fast paced, they're really aggressive, and then they get, cool two-step parts, and like that's fun. Like, I'm all on board with that. But when you add in extra flavor with like a guest vocal that's like a heavier vocal, I feel like it adds so much more dimension to the song and makes it like super cool. So I think Ties is a sick song. It's probably my favorite song of theirs, and a lot of it's because the guest vocals adds like a new dimension to it.
I really like at the end of Ties going into Alive too. Just that little like hip hop beat that
Yeah,
just Alive starts out with. Like, just little flares like that. Like, I love it. Like, we've talked about, like, listen, it's never gonna happen. We've talked about writing music or stuff like that. I'll tell you, the throwback to like sound clips and things like that. I've got one that if we ever do, it will be in one of our songs, and you will love what it is. It's a Brooklyn Nine-Nine clip. It is the best thing ever. So, but I love little just flares like that, just little things that add to the album. It doesn't have to just be straight music, straight punk in your face all the time kind of thing. It's something fun, and I think
well,
that's really cool.
and I am happy to see the younger generation bring like additional creativity back into this, you know? It's not all about like who can break down the hardest, you know? And I feel like seeing like a younger generation band like this not only play a sound that is like not super common right now with kids, but also add these flares of like creativity, like adding the hip hop beat. Like that stuff we grew up on with
Yeah.
hardcore albums, you know? And so I don't know, man. It was cool. These guys just like it just kind of stuck out to me to hear it. I really gravitated towards their sound. It was super cool to see them play live. They looked like they were having a ton of fun when we saw them at Flyover. So, man, I hope these guys like keep doing it, keep doing what they're doing. And honestly, like the shows that they're going to be playing, you know, being able to play LDB and stuff like that is like that's how you know propel yourself forward. So I hope to see them grow, you know, keep growing and doing what they're doing. So yeah,
And I think they will. I mean, you hop on their Instagram and stuff like that, and the shows that they're playing are cool. It's a younger crowd. It feels like what we grew up with. You know what I mean? Like, listen, if you guys are young kids, take over your scene. Us old heads, we're the old guys who don't do that much and everything. Like, be the scene that's propelled by youth. Like, it's awesome. Some of the pictures that they have, just like the quote unquote crew pictures, like all together at the end of a show and all that stuff. Like, it's dope. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And I think that they're a perfect example of the type of band that's going to be bringing energy, lots of local shows. They're going to be playing
yeah,
often. Like, we've got a lot here in Salt Lake. You got a lot there in Texas. Like, this is going to be the one. This is one of those ones for Springfield. So
yeah,
shout out to these guys. I think it's awesome.
yeah. You can catch them on what was it at? I want to say on Instagram. I just had Innervision 217.
Yeah.
So check them
Yep.
out on
Yep.
Spotify and Apple Music. So
Yes. Dope. Well, we'll go from a young band to some old dudes who are playing some dope ass music. We're talking about PlayN For Keeps. So this is a band that I've actually been listening to for a long time. Um, I don't remember. I think it was around the time that like we were listening to Time Heist and some of those other bands that were coming out. PlayN For Keeps was on a lot of those flyers, and I think that's how I kind of came across them. Um, and when I started looking into them, these are older dudes, a little bit even older than us, playing some heavy ass music influenced by you want to go back to like Hatebreeds, Ramallah's, like heavy, like Shattered Realm type of stuff. Like, these guys are playing heavy music, and they're coming out of Colorado. So PlayN For Keeps. I want to say it's Colorado Springs, maybe. I don't know.
I don't remember.
They call it Weld County. So all you guys from Colorado, correct me with where they're from. Weld County, Colorado. They've got a decent amount of music. Um, let's take a look here. I want to say they started around.
Boulder.
Whoa, well, I'm opposite side of Denver. Uh, they started 24, 20 end of 23, beginning of 24, I believe is when it was. It looks like their first single EP, part one, came out in May of 24. And then they've released singles all the way up until last week or the week before, November 24th. They put out Fossils with Kind Eyes, hopped
Mm.
on there. And then Kill Your Maker was on, is their other song on it. Totally opposite of what we just talked about, right?
Pretty much.
This isn't fast. This isn't two steppy and stuff like that. This is heavier. You're not beat down. It's the heavy hardcore sound. So what has stood out for you from PlayN For Keeps?
First of all, I love their like imagery with the like albums and stuff. The lion that they have is like a sick design. And the cover for uh, the Fossils EP singles or whatever is way cool. So I was like instantly like, yeah, dude, I already know this is gonna be good when I saw that stuff. But it's very reminiscent of like it's like a heavier boundaries, you know, like Mouth for War, uh, Sanction type stuff, you know, like that very heavy, like drop tune, kind of distorted guitar, you
Yeah,
know, like, and his vocals, dude, are just mean. They're just
they
like
are.
straight up mean, dude. You know,
They're mean. So let me ask you this: are you a Slipknot fan at all?
no.
Okay,
Are
I'm not
you?
really either. I'm not really
Okay.
either. No, but you listen to their new song "Fossils." Like, have you listened to Slipknot at least?
I mean, yeah. Yeah,
Like,
unfortunately.
that opening, like riff and stuff like that, feels like Slipknot, Mudvayne Dig esque. You know what I mean? It's almost like new metal-y, but and I'm not a new metal fan. They bring it back into like the hardcore realm. Like they don't do all of like the quirky new metal stuff, even though they have some of that like new metal heaviness flair to it from time to time. Like Fossils, especially that opening riff, is like a perfect example of that. But then, like you said, just like how heavy they get, it's like it's a heavy two step right
Yeah.
into his vocals and everything versus like again the new metal goes into dumb new metal stuff. So, uh,
Whatever
but
the
no,
new metal kids do. Yeah.
whatever the new metal kids do, it just like it just goes so well together. It's so heavy, it's so aggressive. The Heartful of Wrath album is great. Like Weld County Stomp, like one of the very first things that you'll ever hear from these guys opens up with just a heavy two-step beat. And they just listen, I've talked crap about bands who scream their own name, but I actually think it sounds
I
pretty
mean,
dope in this one.
when done in moderation is fine.
Yeah. But what did you think about some of these initial songs?
I thought they were good, man. Like you can definitely tell that this band's been around. And I mean not the band, but like the people making it have been around for a while. There's like a level of maturity to the music that you don't usually find with like newer people doing this stuff. You know what I mean? Like this, like I don't know how old these guys are. I'm sure they're around our age, but it just sounds like a bunch of like pissed off people in their mid to late 30s that are just like just angry. That have like career anger. You know what I mean? Like we're not talking like, you know, teenage angst anger. This is like raising a family anger. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
pissed off at the world because life's hard anger. You know what I mean? And like it's just like I wouldn't say I'm like the biggest fan of this kind of music, but there's certain bands that like I can get behind and like I can get behind these guys cuz it's like not overdone the amount of like heaviness. It just feels right, you know. I don't know how else to explain it. It just the anger and like heaviness just feels right when these guys do it, you know.
Yeah. I'm trying to find the song uh that says it. Um but they have a part with the guest vocalist and he says, how does he say it? He says, "This is freedom of speech," and then he says something about it. Like anyone who's referencing like freedom of speech and stuff like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like it's a much more mature sound to it. It's a much more, like you said, older, old man kind of aggression that feels
Yeah, dude.
like what it is. They
I
are a
also
little. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I appreciate uh the consistent gang vocals in these songs too, you know.
Yes.
And you wouldn't think it would fit in a sound like this, but they make it fit and it fits well. I was just listening to one of the songs and I remember like they do the gang vocals very, very well. I was listening to You're Fired.
Yeah.
Yeah, right before the guest spot comes on, they have like a part with good gang vocals. So they like I don't know, man. They check all the boxes I got for heavy music. So
Yeah. So you were saying kind of age wise. So Chris, their drummer, I've been chatting with Chris back and forth for the last couple of year and a half or so since like we've started following each other on social media and everything. He was in a band here in Salt Lake. So I don't know if he's from Salt Lake or just lived here for a period of time. But 2003, he was in a heavy band called Abhor the Fallen, and I was able to go find like clips from them. It was like heavy, heavy stuff. So
yeah,
like, yeah, they come from like backgrounds, aggression. Uh, Again, a lot of people here will know what Salt Lake was like around that time, the types of bands that were coming out, and everything that was going on. And it's just continued. It's carried over a lot of like that heavy mentality, that darkness that
hmm,
like Salt Lake kind of got known for back in the early 2000s. This feels like someone who kind of came from that,
yeah,
you know. And I think that
yeah,
it was him and the guitarist, I think, were the ones who kind of really started jamming and then rounded out with the bass player and vocalist and stuff. So no, man, I think that they are absolutely fantastic. Again, both of their singles from 25, like I can't speak highly enough about them. I think it's You're Fired, the one that he says this is the freedom of speech thing.
mm,
Like you were saying, the gang vocalists and stuff right before they
yeah,
go into that. It's just like if you want to get behind something that's like speaking a message, preaching a message and stuff, like this is a band that you can really get behind. They
yeah.
they're playing this weekend with Madball and stuff.
Oh, sick. Yeah, I've seen those flyers. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, lucked out, playing for keeps, playing with Madball. Um, they've got new music out. I'm trying to see what else they have going on. That might be it right now. But dude, like props to
It's
these
good
guys.
music, man. Yeah, it's friggin' heavy. I was listening to Kill Your Maker, and they got that part where like it goes completely quiet. You know, like they pause, and then you think a breakdown's coming, but they go into that sick like double bass, like really fast part. Like I don't know, man. Maybe that's like where I'm getting at is that, and I kind of felt this way when I was listening to like Innervision. You know that like this is all a sound that we've heard before, but you can tell when it's done in like a genuine non-gimmicky way. I felt like that with Innervision, and I feel like that with PlayN For Keeps. It's not just heavy for the sake of being heavy. Like it's like you can tell that there's like some actual creativity and musicianship to this. It's not just breakdowny, fight. You know, there's like actual intention behind stuff, and it to me it comes off like way more genuine and better, and not gimmicky and actual creativeness. I don't know if that's making any sense, but
It
that's what
is.
like draws me into bands like this is when I feel like it's more than just heaviness. It actually like means something, and there is still some musicianship to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think that another thing about this, again, these guys are older. I don't know if they have families, but families, careers, jobs, all that kind of stuff. Like they're not writing this music to go tour. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, and that it says something. Like, obviously, we want to see bands. We want bands to come to where we can see them in person because honestly, the in person experience will always trump anything that gets put out digitally or just recorded, right? But for you to play this kind of music and pretty much know you're going to be a local band, maybe some small touring around
yeah,
like Colorado, Utah, maybe down to Arizona, maybe some Texas or California kind of thing. Like you have to have more to it than just, oh, that's kind of cool. Otherwise you wouldn't do this. You know, there's
yeah.
definitely something more to it. So
Well, just reading like some of the lyrics from Kill Your Maker, like it says like hatred, intolerance, and bigotry, czarist, despos meet with violent demise. Like, man, those are big boy words. you know,
right.
you know, like, geez, dude. No, and I'm not like saying that to poke fun at these guys. Like to me, that's legit. Like that's what this music's about. Like it's a message. There's actual. Again, it's not like. And don't take this the wrong way. There is a time and place for stuff like Big Boy. I have no issues with Big Boy
Yeah.
or like Tsunami, but they know what they are. It's almost like a joke where they're. I mean, whatever. You know what I mean? But like this isn't that, man. Like this is just straight up like people that are angry at the world around them
Yeah.
and want to portray this message in the most aggressive, angry way, and they nail it, you know. And they're not just saying dumb crap over heavy music. Like I don't know, it's purposeful to me, and I appreciate that more. And that's again, I'm not, you know me, I'm not a huge fan of like the super heavy hardcore stuff, but particular bands like this definitely scratch that itch for me. So
Yeah.
kudos to
No,
these guys, man, because they nailed it.
100%. Could not agree more. I'm a big fan. I think that we're gonna get them up here in Salt Lake in 26. Chris said that they were trying to work on something to come up this way. So again, it sounds like he still has some family here, so there's more reasons for him to kind of come up this way. Hopefully, he can bring the band along, and I can catch these guys live. So, no, man, between these two bands, kind of different dichotomies, right? Young, upcoming, trying to maybe grow or continue to promote a scene. Another band who's just writing heavy ass music because they've got something to say. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Not that Innervision doesn't have something to say, but just they've got something to say, put it to heavy ass
It,
music, and like, hell yeah.
look, here's my, and like I've soapboxed a lot this episode, so I apologize, but I'm going to do it one more time. This is like the importance of the scene too, is like we need older people to do this. You know what I mean? But your scene would not thrive without the younger generation coming up as well. Like both of these bands are very important for similar reasons of keeping this stuff going and healthy. And so it's cool that we can do this, right? That we can find bands that are different sounds, different stages in life, you know, but still have it be promoting the scene that, you know, we're a part of. And that's really cool. And I don't know that you could always say that, right? Like it felt like growing up sometimes that if you were not in with the old heads, like it was way harder to,
Yeah. It,
you
it felt
know,
like
build a
two
scene and
different
be a part of it, right?
it felt
Yeah.
like two different scenes at times. Right.
Yeah. And I don't get that as much anymore. And both sides are important, you know, both sides are important. So, you know, again, we preach it all the time. Go to your local scene, go see shows, start a band. You know, if you're an old guy like me and Trevor and you're pissed off at the world like we are, start a band. If I knew how to play guitar, we would probably be doing it, you know? So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
No, I'm super down for both these bands. So, and I think that what you just said is really important. And this is the last thing I'll say about Flyover Fest with it is I think that Flyover Fest did a really good job at showing that difference, right? They started out with Kopesh, who is that young high school, maybe just out of high school band that looks like they're going to be leading what's going on down there in the metalcore hardcore scene. You had bands like Agony, that are the older guys and stuff who continue to play. You saw, and then you even have like Appealing Flesh, who's massive right now
Yeah.
in that world, and they are doing like all of it was shown there. You don't get that without the old heads, the young guys, and everything in between. Go to shows, be respectful, have fun. Like the worst thing that could happen is
You
for
get stabbed in the parking lot.
you get stabbed in the parking lot, or like for the generations to fight each other. Like that's the
Yeah.
worst thing that could happen. Like everyone should feel included, inclusive. If they are there to enjoy the music, they're there to enjoy the music. Everyone knows what hardcore is.
Yeah.
You might get hit, you might get in trouble.
But it's,
Don't take
yeah,
offense. It's
but it's
part of it.
important.
It's
It's
part of
like
it.
you said. No, I like that. I like what you said, that like it's important that, you know, both generations, that we don't fight each other. And maybe this is like, maybe it's a byproduct of the scene that we grew up in, and it's you know, peeking out a little bit, and because Sometimes it felt like that. Sometimes it did feel like we were two completely different scenes, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it sucked. It shouldn't have been like that, you know? So old heads like, don't be dicks to these kids. Like, you know, they're trying.
Yeah.
Teach them the ways, you know, and the younger kids, don't be dicks to like the old guys, you know.
Yeah. And
They've been
I'm
around the block a few times. Chill out.
happy to say it's not like that anymore. Like Salt Lake is awesome. Like in
Yeah.
terms of like the young with the old and everything in between. Like everyone can come out. Like it's awesome. I know that Dallas is like that. I know the San Antonio's like that. Like there's so much good right now. So
Mhm.
like
Check out these
let,
bands.
let's
Check
bring
out these-
back Posicor, right?
Yeah. I look, we have a friend. I don't even name names because people know him. But watching him fight someone wearing a Posy straight edge shirt or whatever is like one of the highlights of my life. So that won't be a thing.
Best thing ever. So cool, man. Well, we're gonna keep this one short. Hopefully, we can kind of get back. I think that we are gonna get an interview lined up, hopefully for next week. So I'm excited to get back to that. It's been a while since we've talked to someone outside of our little bubble, and I'm
Yeah,
excited. So
yeah. So cool.
dope.
Well, thanks,
All
man.
right. Yeah, man. Peace.
Good, goodbye.